right, let's do a brief audio and visual check. How's everybody doing? Good evening. It's Wednesday night. Thursday's price action. Give me a moment, get a few things set up, and we'll get this show on the road. Audio's good, sounds good, looks good, feels good, everything's good. Hopefully your trading's good as well. Yeah. See, what's up? What's good? Loud and clear, Dan, Don, everybody. Well, let's get started. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, in the YouTube chat, there's our top step risk disclosure. Everything I go over is for educational purposes only. It's not a signals class, and it's not financial advice. Coach Jay has a few personal things to take care of, but sounds like he might be joining me a little bit later. So let's just jump into these markets. We had NVIDIA earnings. NVIDIA earnings came out. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, to be honest. I didn't have time to listen to the earnings call, but as far as my understanding is, things kind of were as expected. I mean, nothing too crazy. NVIDIA beat the top and bottom lines. We saw a little bit of a sell-off, so nothing to panic about, nothing to say, wow, this is so amazing. And the reaction in the market looks like is a little bit bearish, right? You can see over here on the NASDAQ, we've seen that reaction. We got up to these 680s and sold all the way down to 430s. And since then, looks like look at that bounce. All the way down to these 430s, bounced up to 580s, and now we're kind of grinding down to the bottom end of kind of where we were at, or was this? Throughout the New York session. This is the lower the New York session is where we're hanging out. This has been a strong level of support, but let's take a look. We'll go through our regular process. I start on the daily chart. Let's see where we are at on this daily. Interesting level. I mean, one would look at this and think, is this a possibility of a shoulder, head, and then shoulder, and like maybe we could run down and test these lows? That would be my first thought. Like, okay, if we do get down there, maybe we'll talk about it, but nothing too concerning. As of right now, I'm looking at this as just consolidation. We're kind of consolidating in this area between these 23 600s and these 23, 300s, 400s. And if we do start to sell off, maybe that could be more of the conversation. But until then, it looks like we're just going to be continuing to consolidate. We'll see what tomorrow brings after NVIDIA earnings. Let's take a look at the news briefly. Nothing too crazy going on tonight. Tomorrow we'll have jobless claims. We'll have U.S. GDP. We'll have some prelim. Nothing too crazy. Fed speakers. Fed Waller speaks. And then the following day, that's probably that might be more of a market mover than what we've seen, is PCE, core PCE, year over year, month over month. This is something that definitely we're going to be watching to see how the interest rate and the Fed reacts, and is inflation going to increase or decrease? I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be big going into Friday, and a light weekend. So I think that's pretty it. A light day tomorrow. See how the market's going to continue to react around NVIDIA. Consolidation here on the daily. Now let's zoom into an hourly chart. Hourly chart, we'll finish this analysis. This is the rapid fire NASDAQ, then gold, and then we'll get to some questions. Hourly chart, I mean, what more is, what do you do in a consolidating market? You buy the low or sell the high. Buy the low, sell the high. Well, we got up to these highs, rejected. Now we're headed down towards the lows. Can we come down and test these lower 400s? Maybe look for a buying opportunity? Sure, why not? I would not be surprised. I mean, there was that really quick one during the earnings, but I'm definitely not going to be one putting on a position right before and holding through these earnings. You can see there's nice levels of support down here in these upper 300s, lower 400s, and we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle of this range, to be honest. So I'm a little hesitant to be biased any direction. Of course, I'm always going to be bullish, right? Because this is the NASDAQ. This is equities. This is a basket full of the top technology, tech stocks, right? Blue chip stocks. So I'm always leaning bullish when I am trading the NASDAQ overall in the longer term. But from intraday, I'm a little bit neutral. We're kind of in this middle. Let's take a look. I'm going to zoom into a 5-minute chart and see if there's anything different. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce. I mean, look at that bounce. We're seeing some volatility in here tonight. Seeing some volatility tonight during slow markets. I mean, just the past 5 minutes, we went from 486 up to 507. Can we see a run? Actually, this is looking pretty dang tempting, to be honest, to catch a run back up and test these 530s. So I think there could be a possibility for buyers stepping in. Like they stepped in on the low a day, stepped in the bottom end of this consolidation. So let's do it. I like this trade. I like this trade up. Lots of consolidation. We're getting a bounce here. So let's zoom in, and I'm going to see if I can scale into a trade here in the NASDAQ. In the NASDAQ. Someone says fake rally. Let's see. We'll watch. We'll watch. I'm going to watch this. We'll see if there's a trade set up. If we get a little pullback, I'm going to get into a long. And I'm going to look for this market to come back up and maybe test these 530s. We're seeing some volatility, and we see volatility. Volatility can lead to some opportunity. Volatility and opportunity typically go hand in hand. So let's watch it. Last thing I want to see is another, something like this where we have that bounce, consolidate, and push back lower. The only thing that I'm seeing is different is, like I said, lower day today. That's the consolidation from the NVIDIA earnings. And we found support here at these 490s once again. These 490s have held as some solid support. And so it might take a little bit of momentum to break through those. Break through that lower day. I'm going to watch it. Let's watch this. As we're watching it, chat, if we get down to these close to 500, shout out and let me know. I'm watching the chat. If we get down to those 500s, let me know. Because I'd like to maybe test along. If I miss it, then so be it. While we're taking a look at gold, let's do the top-down analysis on gold again. Let's take a look. Man, gold has been pretty bullish for a bit. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. Sure enough, it's the same story. It's the same story, chat. I've been talking about this all week. I mean, gold's bullish. We've been seeing higher lows, higher highs. And what do I say when gold is in a trending market? It looks very, very simple, very straightforward after the fact. We've been talking about this for a while now. Gold can definitely get back up towards these 3,500s. Buy low, sell high. We broke through those 420s. We got through. We're continuing this bullish trend that we're seeing the past week. And then we zoom into this hourly chart. And sure enough, it's very simple and straightforward. It's easier said than done, though. Easier said than done, that's for sure. Very nice trending market. Any pullback has been beautiful buying the dip opportunities. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it the day before, and gold is trending. What do you do in a trending market? You look for pullback opportunities to get in long, and sure enough, we did just that the other day. There was an opportunity today in gold. It sounds like the house account did pretty well, looking for longs in these 420s, and we broke out. We're sitting here at these 3450s, and man, we're kind of on the upper end, right? We're kind of in the upper end type of situation where we see this nice little trend line. Maybe we show some patience. We show some patience and wait, because I'd rather see gold pull back, right? Then look for opportunity again. Why not? That's what gold's been doing. When you're trending, you look for pattern recognition. Will I short up here? It's difficult. It's already happened. It's hindsight. It's easy to talk about the past after the moves have already made. But yeah, I'm going to just try and practice patience, see if we can get a pullback to get into a long here in gold. So top of the hour, in about 19 minutes, we typically see a spike in volatility, a spike in volume. If gold does start to pull back, I'm going to look for some long opportunities. Same thing we've been seeing the past week or so. So let's go back to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's the one that I'm looking for on a trade. on a trade standpoint, man, we didn't really get much of a pullback. We didn't really get much of a pullback. I like the longs. I really do. This is a nice level of resistance here at these 516s. So I'm going to watch. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to look to be getting in long this NASDAQ. And I don't mind actually scaling in. I don't mind scaling in. I'm going to get into one. Let's see if I can get into one here. These are micros, by the way. Micros. I'm going to scale into one here at 515. Have my stop a little bit pretty wide. And let's see if we could scale into a position. I'm looking for 530s. 530s to come into play. Well, there we go. There we go. So far, so good. I mean, nice. Man, yeah, we're seeing some volatility in slow markets. That's 5 points. That's a 5-point bounce. That's always the thing. Sometimes that's the difficult decision, right? When you scale into a position, and as soon as you get in, it goes directly in your favor, which is nice. But then you don't get the full position size. I was looking to get into maybe 5 micros. But hey, you know what? A little bit now is better than none. Yeah, let's see if we get to those 30s. I like those 530s to come into play here. Yeah, everyone loves using hindsight. But here's the thing. I did that. Candles don't lie. I did that risk disclosure. This is for education. This is not a signals class to where say, hey, this market's going to go this way. This is going to go that way. This is perspective, right? I've never sold signals. I've never sold anything, and that's not what this is. This is purely perspective. This is education. You guys get to see execution, putting stop loss, putting take profit. We're going to later on this evening, we're going to continue the strategy builder we've been doing every single day since Sunday night, 30 minutes. We are on one of the final nights. Tonight we should have the finished document, and then tomorrow we'll have it polished up. Yep, tomorrow will be polished up. The order jumped to 530. What order jumped to 530? Sub-zero. I need a signal. Hey, best signal is your own strategy, right? You could get all the signals you want from your own strategy. You build it up. That's what we've been doing this week, right? We've built a strategy from scratch, and hopefully you're doing the same. Is this document my current strategy? No, it's a strategy, right? We do a lot of analogies here. I talk a lot about analogies, and when we go through that here in about a little less than an hour, about 40 minutes, we'll go through the strategy builder, but it's one, right? Just like a professional sports team has a bunch of different strategies depending on what conditions that they're playing in and who they're playing. I firmly believe that a trader should do the same. And it's not dramatic, right? It's not just this huge dramatic. If the market's trending, you would want a trending strategy. If the market's consolidating, you would want a strategy that could take advantage of a consolidating market. If the market's very volatile, that's the same. If it's not volatile, the same, right? If we're getting ready to go into a big event like we did, maybe the markets are a little choppy. Maybe it's rollover. Maybe it's summer, it's fall, it's, getting into holidays. There's so many different situations that we run into as traders. This market, is always evolving. The day that you become complacent is the day that you start to, you stop improving, right? And then you run into, every 4 years. What happens every 4 years? There's an election here in the United States. You might have a new presidency. Currently, this president's is more headlines, right? There's a lot of headlines coming out, tweets that can move these markets. That's something to pay attention to. At any moment, there could be a tweet or a truth social that can move this market 100 points in any direction. Unexpected. We had a lot of that at the beginning of the year. NVIDIA went down. Yeah, NVIDIA did go down. Yep. We're seeing a little bit of recovery. It's not as dramatic though. Yeah, that sell off on NVIDIA was not dramatic. Let's see what's NVIDIA trading at. Let's take a look and see what NVIDIA is trading at this moment. Anybody? Where it's only down. It's down 3%. So not bad at all. NVIDIA is at 175, basically 176. It's not a big dramatic move. So tomorrow we'll see. We'll see if the market will rally off of that or if we get continuation. As of right now, we're holding up pretty well. We failed to break down below those 490s. Like I said, this was this area of support that yesterday, again today, again tonight, and we've been bouncing off these 490s, and it's been strong support. And if we can't go down, do we go up? So far, so good. We're in these 523s. Nice trade here for slow markets. Not the full position, just one. Dakota. All right, Dakota says, what the heck happened today on the NASDAQ after the close? 1:15 specific time. What the heck is that called when it happens right after the market closed? It's earnings. We've been talking about it all week. NVIDIA earnings came out after the bell today at the close, and we've been talking about it all week. Now, Jay might be joining me tonight. Like I said, he had some personal things to take care of, and if or when he does join, we'll bring him on. Like I said, we have that strategy session, and while I'm getting that ready, let's go ahead and run through hashtag slow markets. If you missed it, there is the Twitter. If you want, you can tag me. You could tag me, hashtag slow markets. Usually a trade, a setup, something, maybe you're something trading related, right? Maybe slow markets related. Go through, tag me on that, and I'll pick out a few good ones. And then of course, I got to do this when I am not on air. I've been doing my best to do updates on the social media. Going through, you can see I'm in a combine, grinding it out just like everybody else. Whenever I struggle, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about prop firms is you're not going to be just sitting there just bleeding your own money. You struggle. If I lose $1,000, I'm not really losing $1,000. The prop firm, we're here to get better. We're here to get better. Just because I'm a coach and just because I've been trading for a living does not mean that I am the best. I've never said I was the best. I never will say I'm the best. So there's that. There's the Instagram. I'll be posting updates talking about what I'm doing. I had a phone call with Hoag. I might have another phone call with Hoag. Maybe a phone call with Ben, the risk management. I seen Shoulder Tap is back on Topstep TV. Shoulder Tap was one of my favorite segments. It's one of my favorite segments. Hearing from the risk management team, seeing what they're seeing, understanding how they look at trader statistics, and understanding what they look at, which is always nice to see. Give you a follow. Thank you, Faye. Trading your own capital. Yeah, trading your own capital is different. 100%. And I want to make sure that is very clear. Anybody here that has never traded their own capital and has only traded the prop firm world, there's a major difference. And it's mostly psychological, to be honest. It really is. I've been figuring that out on my own. Right? Okay, what's going on? Disconnecting. How am I trading? I've been trading the live account here at Topstep for over a year. I've made almost $500,000 here at Topstep, which is not a small amount. Like, that's a decent amount, making $500,000 in a year at a prop firm. And then I've been starting to struggle this year. And so Baron and myself, we took a step back and saying, okay, we got to figure this out. What's going on? Is this psychological? Is this systematic? What's going on? That's why you see me back in combines. I passed a few combines 2 weeks ago. Struggled in them. I was doing good. Now I struggle. Now I'm back in a combine and doing it again. Sometimes I just need Hoag's tones to tell me everything is going to be okay. Man, Hoag is the best. Hoag is absolutely the best. Yes, Real Money. Doom. Baron joins me Thursdays. The market changed, and under current condition, that is all. Okay, I'm going to look to build into this position. Like I said, I want to get into 5 micros here on this setup, and I'm going to, let me make sure the risk is okay. I got to measure the risk. Got to measure this risk. Risking $62 right now. And then if I want to get into 5, 62 times 5 is 30. What was that? $300. So I'll be risking $300 on this trade. And it wouldn't be 62 exactly, right? Because my entry is going to be a little bit lower. So it's going to be probably 200 to 250 on this particular trade if I could get into a full 5 micros. Gold. D, yeah, I was copy trading 5x FAs. I was copy trading. And I'm a firm believer, if you can't do it in 1, you can't do it in 5. Well, guess what? I didn't do it on 5. So let's see if I can do it in 1. Fruit Punch. Ooh, this is a good. All right, let's answer this one from Fruit Punch. Coach, don't play, haha. Why don't Topstep take you live? Not good enough, but out here coaching. So I was live. When I first started at Topstep, I've been live in my live account, and I made $500,000. And just like everybody else, I don't get catered to. I have to pay for my combines. I have to pay for everything like everybody else. And what happens when you struggle, right? You go back to combines. Like, that's the reality. How much do you need to pass this combine? I just started it. Just started it this week. Love the high power rates. When are you joining Aaron? Aaron does the London Open. I'll need to stay up for that. The London Open is 1 a.m. at my time. I'm not awake at 1 a.m. that time very often. And then when I am, am I really functioning? Am I really functioning? Do I have the mental capital at 1 a.m. to trade? I might join Aaron. If I do, it would just be me just talking. I wouldn't be trading. Sorry, wasn't listening for a minute. Marked trader. Yeah, Aaron's amazing. Aaron's a great gold trader. Any updates on how the date went the other night? David, I have no comment on that date. No comment on my dates. I tell you what, dating in and of itself is just trading is easier. Trading is easier than dating. Aaron was on point last night. He trades gold, right? He's been trading gold really frequently. Do I back test my dates? And if there was a process, a strategy on dating, maybe that's where I'm struggling. We got to do that strategy, the risk reward. Yeah, that's the point, Zay. That's the point. Like I said, I'm here at Topstep. I'm here doing this for everybody here in the chat. I'm teaching my VIP team, helping traders learn, grow, ask these questions. And we're watching this. We got back down to these 512s, 510s. And while I'm doing it, let's get some music going. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. We got to get this music. Hold up. There we go. He takes 2 to 3 trades a week, but on point. Who takes 2 to 3 trades a week? If someone's taking 2 to 3 trades a week, you know they know what they're doing. That's a fact. There's the music. Let me know if it's too loud. Greg. In this chat, you're here for all the shows. Music's good? Okay, music's good. Music's good, but it's more like elevator music. We gotta see some other ones. Gold short working? Gold short working? Let's take a look at gold. Like I said, I'm looking for longs on gold. We still got a ways. If we could get down here to these 40s, I'd like these lower 40s in gold. What do you use for the earnings calendar? Well, for news, I just use this Trader Hub. That's where I typically look. And then I just Google. You could just Google what earnings are coming out and when. All right, let's go back to this NASDAQ trade. All right, I'm going to add to this. I'm playing for a break through these 20s into the 30s. Like I said, my target's going to be these 530s. No chat. More pressure trading your personal or trading live on air? Tails, I'm going to be honest. There is more pressure trading in front of thousands of traders than it is my personal account. There's more pressure. That's what I was having a conversation with Hoag. I had a conversation with Hoag, and that's one of the things that we was talking about. I'm like, man, there is so much pressure when you're trading in front of everybody, in front of an audience, than there is if it's just me by myself, right? You know, off camera, just locked in, focused. We talk about trader mentality. We talk about mental capital. It's a dramatic difference, right? I mean, trading in a combine or a simulated account, it's one thing, but then trading in a live account, ooh, that's a different level of pressure. And then if it's your own money, but here's the thing, I've been trading for over 14 years. Like, this is my full-time job. Like, I'm a full-time trader. I've been trading for a living. If you tune into my socials, you'll see. And then doing it live in front of everybody is completely different. I think there's also different levels to being live or on air, because slow markets, it's nice, it's chill, it's calm. I'm trading, it's relaxed. I'm teaching. I really enjoy teaching, and me explaining something and teaching, no pressure. But then when you get on air and like we're locked in, these markets are going, it's fast markets, then there's a lot more pressure. Short gold, boom. I am more distracted than I am giving. What are you more distracted about, Doom? All right, we're getting back up into these 20s. MQ has higher lows, looking like it wants to go higher. Yes, yep, we bounced off those 90s, but we'll see. We got the top of the hour. Top of the hour is in 30 minutes or 30 seconds. 30 seconds. What's the cucumber? All right, there's the 20s. When you trade NQ during the New York session, do you switch to regular trading hours opposed to ETA? No, it's the same thing, same chart. I don't switch between regular trading hours or not. And if you guys tuned in during fast markets today, I bought the low. I bought the low a day. I had a 100-point banger during fast markets today. Hey, Dakota, help me understand how not to be greedy. So you see what I'm doing here? I have points, right? I have the points. See, points? Points are enabled. Points. Trying to follow a process. Following process. Not thinking about the dollar amounts. Yeah, sure, you have the dollar amounts up here, but you could easily go into the settings, go into charts and data, and your privacy settings, and just hide it all. Just hide it. Just don't think about it. Just follow your process. And then at the end of the day, then you could go through and tally up everything. Let's see if we could break through into those 30s. We're at 522. You can also do simple math. Yeah, I mean, you could do simple math, but psychologically, right? It's when you start to get emotional, what do you focus on? A lot of traders, and what I used to do a lot was you watch the P&L. You watch the P&L. You watch the dollars flash up and down. You see the dollars, right? You see those dollars. There's a night bot with the top step risk disclosure. I was in before he got in. Also keeps selling. What keeps selling? Waiting for a long entry at or below 23,500. Okay, top of the hour has came and gone. Let's see if there's any volatility here in gold. Gold getting a little bit of a sell-off, but still not too crazy. We're down. We got down to these 45s. I want to see these lower 40s come into play. I want to see 40 to 41, maybe a 39 touch. Dakota's entering the next phase of juggling life, trading, and by end of year he'll be racking up hundreds. Traders, everybody in the chat, maybe you need to follow me a little bit more on social media of what's actually going on. I just show you what I'm doing here at Topstep. I'm here at Topstep. I'm a trader and a coach. I do the VIP, and I'm here to help the audience. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to help new traders. There's so many new traders that I get messages from that has never traded futures before. It's like, yeah, you know, I've never traded futures. You know, I'm a beginner. How do we help beginners? How do we help traders that are struggling? This isn't like, oh man, we're here to, you know, we're all 7-figure traders. This chat is not 7-figure traders. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Bob knows. He sees. He sees it. Show the Dom. Show me the Dom. That's pay-per-view, Skylar. Will B says, what's my social media handles? So here. And I'll do hashtag slow markets in a minute. Hashtag slow markets in a minute. But there they are. We could do the hashtag slow markets on that. The only difference is, you know what a really big difference is I'm not going to be sitting here on camera just yelling and shouting about how much money I make in my personal. There we go. Yeah, me sitting on camera yelling and shouting and bragging about how much money I make in my personal does not help the chat. It does not help a new trader. That's not what helps. Seeing me go through ups and downs, the process, answering questions, to me is where the value is. Ooh, hey Dakota, I've been trading for 2 years, but always struggle building a strategy. What do you suggest? So I suggest you just watch this week. Just watch this week, Rare. In about 25 minutes, I've been doing a strategy builder week. So this week, Sunday nights through Thursday nights, I've been going through step by step on building a strategy as an example. It's an example for education, right? And it's a question I get very frequently. So we'll be going through that in about 25 minutes. I've built a document. We're going through it step by step, using everything that we have here with the platform. Exactly. Bragging about your bank account isn't a flex. It's the process that matters. Yeah, I would rather know how the person got the bank rather than just, it's like, wow, you showed me $1 million account. Well, how did you get that? I don't care about anything else, right? It's like, how did you get it? Did you inherit that money? Did you get it through this or that? Or like, what process did you use? How do you build it? How can I do something similar? Well, you can't do the exact same thing because it's not right to just copy me. You have to go through your own process. But, you know, if there's questions I could answer while we go through that, or some things I could demonstrate to help your journey, then that's what I love. That's what I love. Everyone's going to be able to trade differently. Everyone trades differently. Do I leave any indicators on it at all the time? I don't. For the example that I'm going to be doing for the strategy builder, we've been using an ATR. I'll go over that. It's an average true range, and that helps, you know, at the beginning. Yeah, Davey, that's it, right? The combine. Where I'm in a combine, and it's teaching traders how to trade. It's that common saying, right? If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. If you just give him a fish, eat for a day. All those fun, very popular sayings. Katsu, yes, I trade technically with naked charts. When is this vid? It's been Sunday night through Thursday night this week. It's been 30 minutes. We'll be doing it in about 23 minutes. And they're all recorded. They're all recorded here on Topstep YouTube. I'll work with the team to see if we can get those clipped up. By the way, Coach, the day you started this kind of session strategy builder, I passed my combine this morning. Wow. Good work. Good work. All right, we're pushing into these 30s. We're pushing into these 30s. Hopefully that person that said they made hundreds of thousands of dollars fading me did not do that one on this. Snowy, we'll take a look at gold in a moment. Understanding why gold sold off, I don't know. But we'll take a look in just a moment. We're gonna see if we could take some profits here if we could break through these 30s. Let's see if there's any good hashtag slow markets. Let's see if there's good hashtag slow markets. I know there's a few consistent viewers that I could always depend on for a good hashtag slow markets. Ooh, look at this one. Ooh, this is a good one. Grip South Florida Man Cave Trades. Ooh, that's a setup. That's a beautiful setup. Shout out to you. That the bull right there, man, curved screens. Shout out to you. I like that one. That's a beautiful one. Let's go through. There's a couple more. Wall Street Bulls says we are currently long MNQ. Let's go. Nor says started trading October 24. Here, I can share this one. Started trading last year, so October 2024, after blowing multiple combines and XFAs on my way to my first payout. Still learning to trade well. I'm enjoying the journey. Thanks for sharing. Great statistics, looking good. High win percentage, great risk rewards. I like this one. It's only 2 days into your new XFA, and you're up $21,000. What is that? That's amazing. Amazing. Just make sure you have a daily loss limit. Wow. Great work. Great work on that. Beautiful stats there. See, this is what I enjoy. This is what I freaking love, everybody. I love seeing this. I do. I really do. And then Rick out here. Don't miss it. Rick's long. Love to see that. Or is this me? What is it? Is this my screenshot? Is it my screenshot on my screen? What go, Rick. I just thought that was your like, wow, nice. Green on the screen. Yeah, there we are, green on the screen. We're into these 30s. We're into these 30s. Man. Let's get through these 30s. $80 to go, just trailing. Aubrey says, why are you ignoring the Dakota versus Baron or Thunderdome? I don't have the details on those. Once I get the details, I will give you answers. You're taking partials at 550? We're going. We're going. Let's just let's tighten up this little stop. We'll tighten up this stop. We're getting it. 21K in just 2 days. How many? I don't know. That trade was great. I'd love to see that. 21,000 in his XFAs. Take that to the bank. Yeah, Topstep always makes it right, Aubrey. Like, trust me when I say this. Topstep makes it right. There's a lot of FUD and drama on social media that people love to pick up because they get clicks and views, or rage bait or any of that stuff. But they never mention Topstep always makes those things right. Like if there's anything, like, you can count on Topstep. I've been with Topstep for 2 years now, and I've never had an issue where it's like, oh man, I could be frustrated about something that happened today, but I know for a fact, like, hey, it doesn't, tomorrow it's going to be taken care of, or the next day it's going to, like, any of that stuff. Bring them on slow markets. Ooh, you know who I'm going to bring on slow markets? Braden. I'm going to bring Braden on for slow markets. I'm going to reach out to him and see if we could make that happen. Make that happen. We got to have him on. Is he here tonight, Braden? He was here last night. He watches slow markets. He's a great trader. Live account. He trades slow markets too. He says he trades a lot on slow markets. Is he? Let's see. What up, Bray? I don't know. I don't know if he's watching or not. I always got to give him a shout out now. I'll hop on your show with my strategy for blowing XFAs. He is live all the day in his YouTube. Take off one at 35. I'm watching to see how we react up here. I was looking for these mid 30s. I'm in 2. I would love, it's one of those situations where when it goes in your favor, you wish you had more on. You wish you had a bigger size on. I was looking to get into 5 micros. I only got into 2. So if we could get into these, maybe test 34, 35, we're almost there. We're basically there. Then I'll close one contract off and then leave a runner on, because the next level I have here in the NASDAQ could possibly be these 50s. Go test that. I don't know if we could get up all the way up to these 70s here, but just looking at some upside targets. Aben, when are you going to start the 10K challenge? What do you mean? The dude, I won't say names, is still... Yeah, I'm not sure. Nice entry, coach. Yeah, we're watching this. What's gold doing? What's gold doing? Is gold still getting down there? Ooh, this might be good timing, actually. I'm going to be honest. This might be amazing timing. If gold keeps selling off and we could take some profits here in the NASDAQ, then there could be a trade opportunity where I'm closing this NASDAQ for profit, and then we're getting close to that opportunity to get in long gold. Prod, I don't know. They shouldn't. Traders should not copy trade me. No. Traders should never copy trade me as a strategy. That's wrong. That's why we do the risk disclosure. The one thing you should do is, ask questions. Ask questions if you're struggling in your strategy. If you're struggling, if you have a question, if you want to know something, you can see maybe how I use my stops, how I get in, how I get out. Steer your own ship. Yep. Steer your own ship. Because what happens if you're let someone else steer your ship and then it crashes and you get pissed off? Drive your own bus. Be extreme ownership. Extreme ownership. There's no one else to blame. You cannot blame anybody else for your own struggles. Do I use an order book or market depth? Not really. Nope. The only time I use an order book is every once in a while I'll see a big order. I like to watch what happens with the markets about maybe a big order, something abnormal for the size. And then I get in and out, right? I'd put like a bid or an ask, buy market, sell market, join bid. That's the only thing I use from terms of order book. Let's see if we get this leg higher. We've been buying these pullbacks here. Every little pullback since we started slow markets, we have bought it up. So we'll see if this will be more of the same. New sub here. Ooh, welcome. Never. New sub. New sub. Who's new? Who's new here in the chat? Subscribing to Topstep here at Slow Markets, Sunday through Thursday night. Hit profit target, but got hit with a consistency rule. Didn't know about it. Not my fault. I'm a beast of 7 years. Well, welcome. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. Jocko Williams. Yeah, you know my reference. Jocko Williams, Extreme Ownership. It's a great book, by the way. No, I'm done adding. No, the play was a break through these 20s into the 30s and this zone. I woulda, coulda, shoulda. You always want to add more after the trade's going in your favor. Me what? New? You're new here? That's what. New here. New over here. Just trying to understand how this works. Just paper trading. Good. If you're new and trying to still understand how this works, that's what you want to do. You do it in a simulated environment. You don't want to just jump in with your own money, jump in without learning, right? If you never swam before, you're not going to jump into deep water. Straw, SFRA, says, what gave you the indication to buy? Well, if you show up on time, I am going through where for the past few days this week, these 490s have been holding as support. Buyers have been stepping in here quite frequently. And so when I got in here, sure enough, these 490s got rejected. Buyers stepped in. We had a very nice 3-bar reversal, bullish candle come in here. We pushed through back above the 500s. And as soon as we started to break through, I wanted to build a position. I didn't get my full 5 contracts. I only got 2. And I'm looking for this market to push through up into these mid-30s, close one contract off into these mid-30s, and then look for a possibility of a return to maybe these mid-40s. I don't know if we could get all the way up to these 580s. I don't know. We'll see. But I might hold a runner depending on the situation. I'm looking to close one off for a nice little profit in these mid-30s if we get there. I am new, swimming with the fishes. Welcome. That's how you learn. You straight to the deep end. And you don't know how to swim, we throw you in the deep water. That's like going out, opening up your own personal account, and good luck. Yeah, Topstep is an amazing place to learn if you've never traded before, or if you're struggling or you want to learn to be a better trader. She's a runner. She's a track star. Let's see if we get through these 30s, 33s, 33 half, 34. We're trying. Ooh, I can see a nice breakout. I could. I'm gonna put a sell limit there. I'm gonna put a sell limit because I could feel a nice breakout. I can feel it in my bones. Someone says it's time to get gold. Let's see, what's gold doing? Did we get down to those? No, we did not yet. I'm waiting. I'm being patient here on gold because if we break down, I could see gold getting to these lower 40s. Maybe we come back down and test this level. Then I might look for a long there. And in about 10 minutes, we'll be jumping into the strategy builder. Pull up the document, continue the document and what we're doing this week. So gotta stay focused. Gotta stay focused. Nice trade, VWAP George. Thank you. Dakota, you make profits in personal account because you have a wider stop. No. Nope. I think it's psychological. Psychological sizing. That's the thing I was talking about Hoag with. Talking to Hoag, figuring this out. And then anything I figure out, I'm sharing it here. I don't care. Like I said, I'm not here to sell something. I'm not here to do it. I'm here to help traders. And so if I figure something out, I'll let you know. If I'm changing anything, I'll let you know. Because I'm in it with everybody else. Wow, okay, Binary says, good. Your strategy builder series is why I subscribe to this channel. Well, welcome. I've been doing 30 minutes every week this week. It is recorded here on YouTube, and I'll work with the team to get those clipped out, sending the clips out to the team. And so we'll be starting that in about 8 minutes, and we're almost through. Tomorrow is going to be the last night. We'll have the polished document, the polished version, and we'll take a look at a few examples, and then maybe I run a poll. Maybe I run another poll to see if we put that strategy to work, and then I could go through executing the strategy, maybe fine-tuning the strategy, what to look for, how to make those adjustments. That could be a fun, what do you call it? Theme of the week? Can we do that? Theme of the week? Like this week, we're doing the strategy builder. Next week, we could do, I don't know, strategy tester. Strategy tester? Is that a valid theme? I don't know. Gold's getting there. NASDAQ hanging out in these 20s. Hanging out in these 20s. Hey, these are not signals. These are not signals. These have never been signals. We're chilling. We're process over profits. Shout out to my VIP team. So my VIP team is doing some amazing work. Just collected 16 ticks on 2 Jedi scalps. Hey, Coach C, I remember on the worksheet you have a criteria for the ATR to enter a trade on the NQ. Do you have one for the ES? It would be the same thing, right? I'm only trading the NASDAQ and gold. If you're trading the ES, of course, you'd want to, some type of criteria for entry. Yeah, VIP team. Just go to micros and see how fast you can press the button. No. Been copy trading. No, we're not copy trading. No, we're not copy trading Coach Dakota here. That's not what this is. So someone says, think gold could drop to 34.30. Nice trade. Slow markets, strat. Slow markets. This is what you expect. Don't expect these markets to move very fast unless news or headlines. Every once in a while, it's abnormal. This is about the pace of slow markets. Thank you, yeah, Bruno. Shout out to Bruno. All right, we got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. We'll jump into that strategy builder. You know what we could do? Let's start the strategy builder now. Let's do it. Let's do it. We could watch this trade in the background. Let's jump into the strategy builder now. Here it is. Close your eyes. Blind it. It's bright. It's bright. We could watch the trade and do this. We could talk and chew gum. All right, we could talk and chew gum here. There it is. All right, let's go through this. Let me turn this music off, and as always, I'll do a brief summary of where we're at, and then we'll continue on this journey. And before I do that, let's do one more hashtag slow markets. Tony M with another good-looking setup. Okay, I like that. There's Topstep TV over there on that monitor. I like this setup. I like it. I'm liking the mouse pads or the desk pads. There's a lot of desk pads with technicals. It looks like the last few ones I've seen have some nice technicals. Love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful setup. All right. Okay, now let's jump into this. Okay, if you missed it, let's go through this summary. Like I said, started this Sunday night. I started this series. It's building a strategy together. The point of it is that we get a lot of traders. I get a lot of traders asking me this, keeping their strategy in their head. It's very nice to put it in black and white, whether you're writing it down on a piece of paper or putting it in a document. It helps you articulate it better. You could study this. You could improve it. What gets measured gets improved. This is part of that. So let's go through the summary. We started this Sunday night, 30 minutes each night. We're going to do it again tonight. And then tomorrow will be the final day, which is Thursday night, same time. But before that, you know what? You know who we could bring in? You know who we could bring in? Give me a thumbs up when you are ready, my man. Okay. And just in time, we have we have my man Coach Jay, who's going to be joining us. And just like this, we'll make you appear. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, I'm failing here. I'm failing. There you are, man.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. What's going on?
How are you, Coach Jay?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Let me fix the audio. Okay. I think we should be good. Make sure there's no echo. Let's do one more test here.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, there you go. Look clean, sound clean. You're in like 4K resolution. Let's knock on wood and hope that it stays like that. But you're just in time. Just in time for this strategy builder. We're continuing. We did it together on Monday. And so I'm going to go through a brief rundown, a summary. We have a NASDAQ trade going on in the background. So we got a lot of moving parts here. And so here's Wednesday's night. We're going to go into the end of this slow market session. But yeah, I'm doing this for the audience. We're learning how to build a strategy together. I'm going through it, putting it on paper. Coach Jay, we talked about this Monday, the importance of being able to put this down on paper so that way it's black and white. It makes it, easier to follow, hopefully harder for you to break those rules. And then what gets measured gets improved. We put this all here on a document, and then you can see which place, how to make adjustments. Are you following your rules? Yes or no? You could check this document anytime. You could even add it to a pre-market routine. Before you trade, you go through and do this. So here's what we have so far. I'm calling this a pullback strategy. I just pulled this. This is an example. Like I said, example. This is for education. So follow your own. Follow your own. So risk management. Using a 150K account, $200 per trade. That's the max loss per trade. $1,000 daily loss limit. If you're profitable, say you made $2,000 for the day, then your daily loss limit would be $1,000 in the money, not wanting to give anything back. And then pre-trade routine. I was going to say this pre-market routine, but I did pre-trading session routine because not everyone's going to be trading pre-market, just whatever session you do trade. So pre-trading session routine. I always eat before I trade. Healthy food, tea or coffee. Always using the bathroom. Don't want to be in a trade while I have to use the bathroom. That sucks. Meditation, stretch, making sure you're going in, feeling good mentally, physically, having a clear mind. I got to be honest, Jay. I got a little bit emotional last night because once we go through it, there's some stuff that it's really personal. Trading is big when it comes to the psychological side. And the last
100%.
thing we want is to take all the life stresses of the outside world and then bring them into your trading, and then vice versa. We don't want the stresses of trading and bring them into our personal relationships. And we'll talk more about that on a post-trades routine. Working out, running, walking, 30 minutes in the gym. I always shower before I trade, or at least I try to. Don't want to sit here on a chair for 1 or 2 hours, not just feeling gross. Check for news events. Use the economic calendar. We have the Trader Hub here on Topstep X, or watch yourself and Hoag in the morning show for Market Prep. Trading time frames. You guys see me using it all the time. I start with a daily. I look for trends. I look for support and resistance. Then I'll zoom into a 60-minute chart. Same thing. Trends, support and resistance. Then I'll use an ATR to judge volatility. Is this market volatile? I think I made this adjustment from ATR to there. And so, look, we're already making adjustments here. And then we're going to just do the adjustment here on for the 5-minute. Is this market volatile enough to be trading? Yes or no? And that's why you see market types. I trade the NASDAQ and I trade the gold. And so on the NASDAQ, if the ATR on the 5-minute chart is greater than 15, then yeah, I'll trade it. If it's less than 15, I won't trade it. That's based off this one. Of course, this is a variable that can be adjusted based off of volatility, right? Is this summer where the volatility is so slow and you might have to, adjust? Or is this, like this spring where the volatility was insane during the tariff and all that craziness? And then same with gold. Gold, an ATR on the 5-minute, greater than $2, greater than 2. Market conditions, trending markets, just making sure you define everything and there's no just not as much discretion. The less discretion, in my opinion, the better. What defines a trending market? Well, something straightforward. Higher highs, higher lows, and the ATR meets these conditions. And then we have the trade setup. Simple. Pull back. We got to pull back at least 38% from the high. 38%, I just like it. It's a fib level. Near support and resistance. How do I get in? Well, a technical pattern. A break of a flagging pattern, 3-bar reversal, break of consolidation. I remember this is an example, so go through, fill it out, build your own. Everyone's going to be different. Stop loss. 1.5 ATR from the entry, or below or above previous support and resistance. Like I said, we're going to be going through some examples. We will be going through some examples, and I will be answering questions. So hold your questions to the end. I'm going to go through examples and probably be able to answer most of them. And then the take profit, basically the same. Looking for a 1-to-1 is what this is really over. So any thoughts so far, Coach Jay, on what we have? And then we will start to build on this. We still have trade management and post-trade market routine or post-trading routine. Thoughts on?
I think the most important thing here, and someone had asked a question at the buzzer, if there was one thing you would tell a beginner trader to be able to learn, I think, and I'm hearing an echo.
Not on
just
my
me?
end. It might just be
Okay,
you.
I think it'll just. Where is that coming from? All right, I'm gonna mute that there.
Okay.
Learn how to trade with that ATR stop. Right, that was one of the biggest things that I think new traders should try to figure out how to do. Because a lot of times what it is I can't lose more than $200 trading the NASDAQ, and market conditions may not facilitate that, right? If
Correct.
the volatility is increased, you have to adjust for that. So learning how to trade with that ATR stop, I think, is the most important thing.
Yeah, and even if it's not like, hey, you have to use the ATR stop, using a stop in some form of system, right, or process over profit to show that consistency. Like if you're a new trader, find something that will allow you to manage a stop and do it consistently so you don't have to think very much. And I'm using this ATR as an example. I have ATR 1.5. You could do 2 ATR. You could use a simple moving average. You could use whatever. So great point. Let me go through this and we'll break it down a little bit more. We'll answer some questions. We'll go over it again. So next thing, trade management. And I like that you mentioned, using the ATR stop and then trailing it, because this is going to be part of it, right? Trade management. So what happens? You place the trade, you're in a trade, you're in long, you're in short. What happens next? Well, you got the trade management aspect. And I could even make an argument that this is one of the most important things, right? You just don't do anything. You just go to your stop or go to your take profit and you don't even do anything. For me, I have trailing the stop. I like to trail my stops. So I do trail stop loss. And then what does trailing stop loss means? Just simple. At the next support or resistance. Like I said, I'm going to be doing examples. And then what time frame? I'd say 5 minute. 5 minute on this setup. When I'm trading the New York session, I do use a 100 tick chart. But for this example, we're just going to do a 5 minute. And then the next step, we got to get this set up. Next step, we are going to do scaling in. Scaling in, okay. Scaling in. I'm not sure if this might be a little advanced, but that's okay. Scaling in. Everyone's seen me an example of here. I would say like maybe 5 contracts. like there's a possibility for me getting in 5 contracts. I tried to scale in to 5 contracts here tonight in this NASDAQ trade. I only got into 2. So 5 contracts, and you know what? I think this might be better just for the show, just for an example, because I don't want to confuse too many traders. And then scaling out. And like I said, tomorrow we'll fine tune this. We'll polish it up. I'll say 2 contracts at the beginning of support resistance, and then I have 2 contracts as a runner. So remember, hold your questions to the end. We'll go through examples. I'll definitely go through examples to make sure this is very clear, very straightforward. Like I said, tomorrow we'll have another polished one. We'll go through this. I'll ask questions. We still have 30 minutes. That's why we're doing this. It's taken a whole week. Okay, trade management. Trailing your stop loss at the next support and resistance. Scale in. Maybe you got into 4 contracts. Scale out. You could take profit on half. Have a runner on the other half. I'll give examples. And while we're doing that, hey, we have a good example right here. Look at NASDAQ go. We are breaking to the long side. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out of one of the contracts. So half my position. If I was in 4 contracts, it'd be like I'm closing out 2 contracts. So let's get out of one of these contracts here. And I'm going to continue to trail this up. And here's what I mean. This is a 5-minute chart over here on the left. And see that there's a nice level of support and resistance. I'd want my stop loss to be just below that. So just below that. So there's an example. Scale out, get out of half my position, trail my stop, leave that one on as a runner. And yeah, we'll go through more examples, explain it, and then answer questions. Like I said, this isn't like, oh, this is an amazing strategy. Everyone's going to make money off of it. This is purely the example. I can't repeat that enough. So there's trade management. Simple, straightforward. Next, this is the biggest one, man. This is the biggest one. This is kind of where I told you I was getting a little bit emotional going through this. But post-trade, oh man, can't spell. Trading session routine. Post-trading session routine. Do you have one, Coach Jay? What do you do when you're done with the trading session?
Try to decompress. Honestly, for me, that's usually when I work out, when I'm done with the trading day, right? So
okay,
I am usually done trading around 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's when I work out. That's when I usually eat a heavier breakfast. I usually don't eat too much. I'm definitely hearing an echo, Dakota.
Really? Well, I'm not hearing an echo. I don't think chat's hearing an echo.
I think my audio is playing into your microphone.
Okay, how about now?
Test 1, 2, 3. Nope, not hearing it now.
Okay, yeah, that was it. That was it.
All right, cool.
All right,
there we go. We should be good now. All right. Yeah, so that's usually when I work out. Usually when I try to get away from my desk, get outside. Take the dogs out. Post-trading session, though, towards the end of the day, I do at the buzzer market recap, but I do like to recap the trades, right? I'm not focused solely on the P&L for the day, but I do like to have just a quick understanding of what I did for the day, just so I can kind of close the day. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, so I'm putting this here. Workout, go for a walk, de-stress, right? Here's one. I know, meditate, stretch, kind of a little bit of what was on the pre-session, right? So a little bit of what you were doing on, at least what I do on the pre-trading session, you could do on the post-trading. Of course, I'm not going to shower again. I'm like, oh, I need a shower after that nasty market. No, maybe. So meditate, stretch, review your trades, ? Did you follow your process? Yes or no? Maybe grade yourself. And this is one where I was being serious. Just forget about it, right? Forget about it. Like, this is extremely important. I cannot stress it enough. the pre-trade routine and the pre-trading session routine, along with the post-trading routine, to me, are one of the most important things. The psychological aspect of trading is so big, where you need to make sure you're trading with a clear mind. You don't want yesterday's losses or yesterday's trades to affect today's performance. So having a post-trade routine to where it's like, okay, I did everything, I reviewed it, what's done is done. If you took a loss, if you have a daily loss limit, you hit it, there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. Tomorrow, you're not going to revenge trade. You're not going to increase your size to make up for it. You need to do the exact same thing. Routine, process. You very rarely see a professional athlete that's like, man, I had, I didn't get my 100 points or whatever, and so this next one, I'm going to do twice as much work, right? I mean, I don't know about Kobe Bryant, because he doesn't really pass, but it's the same thing in a lot of professional athletes I see. You don't see them. Do you see them put in more effort outside of what they normally do just because they had a bad game the previous game?
It depends. Sometimes you do, right? Sometimes you see a player after a game, right? They might be getting up extra shots after a bad shooting night or something like that. I think, if you want to talk about Kobe, his big thing was, just getting in the gym earlier and then later than everyone else, because he's putting in twice the amount of time, and he's going to progress that much faster. But I think there is at some point that starts to diminish a little bit, right? Where the more time you're spending at the charts, is like a law of diminishing returns, right? Where you just are hoping after a while, right? People say there's no substitute for screen time, but it does have to be good screen time.
Correct. I mean, good habits, right? And
right.
Kind of what I was getting at was you wouldn't see like a Steph Curry, because he's shooting bad one game, just start cranking threes out of nowhere the next game, right?
Right.
Or of a football team like the Chicago Bears who lose, start throwing Hail Marys every single play, right? That's similar to like revenge trading. It's like, dang, I took a loss, so now I'm just going to start going for it every single time to make up for the last game. So having the short-term memory like a goldfish, understand the process, right? And then if you keep losing, that's what this is. You have this on here, you have your strategy, you have it written down, and if you keep losing or if you keep struggling and you're following your strategy, like, are you following your strategy? If the answer is yes and you're still losing, then now it's not you. It could be your strategy or it's something else. Like that, this helps narrow it down. Or if the answer is no, like, oh, I didn't follow my process, and you're losing, and the answer is no, well, it's you. It's your fault. You're breaking your rules. You're breaking your strategy. That's the reason why you're losing. So this helps narrow it down, is doing this pre-trading and post-trading session routine so that you know where you need to make those adjustments. Is it you? Is it the strategy? Or maybe it's the market. And you can't blame the market, but maybe the strategy is not meant for the specific market condition. We know that strategies are not going to win 100% of the time. Sometimes we have bad market conditions, or the market condition just did not work in your favor and you'll take losses. But this will help identify patterns in your trading to make sure you're following them, or identify when you're breaking them, or if you need to fine tune or adjust. Any final thoughts on this, Coach Jay? And the NASDAQ just keeps going up.
No, I think this is great. Honestly, I think everyone should try to create something like this for themselves. And a lot of it should resonate with most people, right? I see people talking about, you don't need to take time away from the charts. If that is what fits your trading plan, don't sit at the charts for 23 hours. Let me know how it goes. But I think this is great.
Okay, awesome. And so someone says, Winning Trade says, can you please share this document? Yes, tomorrow is going to be the final day. We're going to review this again. We're going to look for more trade setups, examples, answer some questions, and then I'll get this over to the team and we'll get some type of document out there for everybody that is for this polish. So let's go through some questions. I already see some. Like I said, I want to clear this stuff up. So I'm going to minimize this. Remember, this is all recorded. You can always go back and rewatch it. So we have that runner. We pushed up to these 40s, and so far so good, up 21 points. So let's go through an example, and let's go through some of the questions that you have. The first one I want to answer is technical patterns, because I have that here in this document, and it says technical patterns. My entry, technical patterns. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's answer that question of what does that mean, technical patterns? Other than, honestly, you can go in and Google and figure out technical patterns. We've seen some amazing hashtag slow markets, and their desk pads had technical patterns, but everyone might see a technical pattern a little bit differently, how to trade it, how to execute it. But here could be one of them. I'm going to show you one that we see right now, right here in front of us. This can definitely be a technical pattern. I call this a 3-bar reversal. And this 3-bar reversal happens to come at a level of support. So I'm going to circle these levels of support. And this is a level of support and resistance. We held this yesterday, these 490s. We held it again today. And so we came down here tonight. We got to these 490s. We rejected. And we have something called a 3-bar reversal. It's right there. We have a trend, a little bit of a trend here on the 5-minute chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks down. The 5th candlestick is what you see right there, this main candlestick, it has the lowest low right there. You can see this also as a doji. And then when the next candle closes or crosses above that previous candle, so basically right there at that point, right at like 497, that could be a technical 3-bar reversal and the cause for an entry. The entry would be right at the cross of there, right? And then of course we have the ATR indicator, average true range, and let's get this white so everyone can see that against the black background. And you would want it typically on the 3-bar reversal, the stop loss would be at the bottom opposite side. So we'd have the entry, the stop loss, and then a 1-to-1 take profit. So this is an example of one technical pattern. There's tons of technical patterns. The 3-bar reversals, one of my favorites. A break of support and resistance. We was talking tonight, this is why I entered this trade, is we've had that nice bullish move. We came up to this level of resistance and we broke through it. Here's another one, right? We came up to this level of resistance at these 532s. We had a nice little pullback and then we just broke through it. So there's definitely ways to enter, on pullbacks, on breakouts. There's a lot of technical trading. And I mean, there's tons of them, man. There really is. I mean,
yeah, there are.
Can you name them all? I don't think I would ever.
Technical patterns? No, I'm actually the worst at that. Right? People talk about head and shoulders and shooting stars and all these other. Nope. I am the worst at identifying those type of patterns. But simple support and resistance. I do see 3-bar reversals. One of my favorite trades is that 3-bar reversal, just adding some volume into it. But there's no way I can name them all.
No. I used to think that if I memorized them all, that'd make me a better trader. But I realized very quick, the more patterns I memorized, the more I started over trading. Because then I would see patterns in everything, right? And then I would see trade setups in everything. And then I would just keep placing trade after trade after trade. And then I'm like, okay, wow. I need to be more selective on what patterns I like, what patterns are higher percentage, and then how to utilize those patterns, and then how to use those patterns with different aspects on my trading, like support and resistance. And that's definitely one of them. Trend lines could be a technical pattern, right? So if we look at what we're seeing here tonight, we had this nice down trend line that you can say there's a trend line, and we broke through it, right? There's I could sit here and we could find so many technical patterns just on this chart, which by the time we're done looking at all these patterns, you might not even see the candlesticks and price action. There's so many of them out there. But I like simple, basic, straightforward support and resistance mixed in by a few simple technical patterns like a 3-bar reversal, a break of support and resistance, and I mean, that's basically it. That's basically it. I mean,
Keep it simple. More information does not mean more money in trading.
I wish, man. I wish. I'd be studying 24 hours all day, every day. Get a few master's degrees. But that's not the reality we live in. Man, this market played out good. Let me take a look at gold. Are you seeing anything, though, Coach Jay?
I did see like a 600 lot offered in the Nasdaq, kind of in this area. They pulled it, but outside of that, no, I'm not seeing much right now. Gold
Okay.
is selling off just a little
Yep,
here.
and I'm gonna take this trade. I'm gonna
Taking
get
a
in
short?
long. Yep, I'm
Oh,
getting
you
in
taking a
long
long?
gold. Yep, I'm gonna get into a long gold. This is, oh, this is. You talk about that strategy that we were doing. How about this one?
Pullback strat. Here it is.
That pullback strat. Here we are again. So let me go through this. This is gold. I've been looking for it to come down to these lower 40s, and I might scale into it. So we had this nice rally. I'm going to show you on an hourly chart. We had this nice rally. I did some analysis earlier. This beautiful rally throughout the day from top to bottom. To understand the 38%, I just pull up a fib. 38%. How do you want to measure it? Do we measure it from this? Do we measure it from that? I like to measure it from the beginning of the rally. I've known some traders that measure it there. But whatever you do, just find a way to do it consistently. We're at that. We just barely touched that 38. That 38. Not only did we touch it, we're at this level of support and resistance. This was the New York session, the yesterday. That was the high. That was the high, these 3440s. And we came down there. And so I'm going to be looking for reversals in this zone. Now, everything's a zone for me, but I want to scale in. And I like to scale in around zones. And so I would be okay if this market does pull back a little bit more. I mean, if we get to 41, maybe 40s, I could add some more. I'm also going to be looking for those technical patterns like, a 3-bar reversal, maybe some consolidation. If we consolidate in an area and then we start to break out, I could add to it. I'm going to have my stop loss pretty loose here, pretty loose. I'm going to have it at the bottom of this because the strategy says 1 ATR or support and resistance. I'm going to go with support and resistance on this one. And then I'm going to scroll down and see that would be risking $85. So that also matches. So this is just an example of it. And I want to scale into this. Maybe I can get into 5 micros here. Yeah. I was being patient, man. I was being patient throughout this whole slow markets on getting
Waiting
into
for
a
this
long
pullback.
gold. Yeah.
Hey, patience pays. Patience pays.
And we got it. And look at NASDAQ. Oh, wow. Oh, we're getting these 32 points here in the NASDAQ. There we go. There we go, Fruit Punch.
Fruit Punch is just all juiced up tonight.
He's like tasting his Kool-Aid. Fruit Punch, oh man. Yeah, hope me. That got me. I'm happy with this. This was my last target, these 50s. So there you go. 32 points in slow markets. Simple, straightforward. Wham. Bam. Now let's take a look at gold. It's not FOMO if I've been waiting for it this entire time. Oh, all juiced up. You got the jokes, man. We got the jokes. We need to get on.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. When am I coming out there to New York?
Soon. We'll figure it out soon.
We'll figure it out soon. Maybe the end of. August is almost over.
August is
almost
over. August is pretty much over. 2 days, 2 more days, 2 more trading days in August.
Yeah. How's trading been for you?
It's been all right. Today was pretty much a scratch day. Had a positive day in a Topstep combine, and I think in my personal, I lost $200, which is pretty much a scratch. I kind of got caught up trying to trade the Nasdaq when, for me, Dakota, we're talking about these patterns. When I trade my best, I do not default to one market. I know that's how some people trade. They're just like, hey, I'm going to focus on one place. But for me, I like to focus on a setup and identify which market's presenting that setup. Today, that was the Russell, and I kind of ignored that signal. So it ended up not being, it could have been a great day, right? If you look at the Russell, there's a pattern that played out there today that I want to take that trade every time it's subset. So
here, let's go over those patterns. I don't have your chart, but I'm going to go ahead and let's get your chart up. I want to go over that
1 second.
because now I'm curious, man. Now I'm curious. Let's
give me
let's
1
get that
second.
pulled up. Yeah, just take a
share my
moment.
charts with you.
It's that same link.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Guys, this is not a Boston hat.
It's
a Brooklyn Dodgers hat.
It's a B. And I added to this position. So I added. We held these 43s again. So I am long 2 micros from 43, 43.8, 43.8, 43.8. I want to get into 5. We'll see if I can get into 5. No Boston.
All right.
We're coming.
It might be easier if I shared my Quantower screen with you, but
yeah,
I
whichever.
know how sometimes that goes over with the chat. But here we go. I'll share it on TopstepX.
Yeah, let me know as soon as you get that. We'll get it in. I'm watching this gold play out. Watching this gold. Coach Jay with the sauce.
All right. You should have my charts now.
I got them. Let's get these into. We're gonna do this awesome transition. Hey, Free Punch, how's this trade doing? Bam, there we are. Oh, that looks clean. And you're muted. And you're mute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Coach Jay. Are you muted? Oh, no. We lost him. We lost him.
Put it in your
There we go.
test 1 2 3. There we go.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right, cool. All right, so let me just pull up 2 charts next to each other. We'll do the NASDAQ on the left, the Russell on the right. And I don't care which market I trade, right? I just want the market that's presenting the cleanest setup. And sometimes it's going to be the Russell, sometimes it's going to be the NASDAQ, sometimes it's going to be the S&P. But if we look at the opening range trade, and the way I like to take the opening range trade, a lot of traders like to take it just on the initial break. I like to take it on the close outside of it with volume trading outside. Look at the 2 trades here. So the NASDAQ's on the left, the Russell's on the right. For me, and my rules with taking an opening range breakout trade is not only does price has to close outside the range, right? A lot of people like to take it where price trades outside the range. In that case, in the NASDAQ today, 3-minute opening range, we trade outside the upper extreme. You would have gotten long, and then the market turns around, you get stopped out for 70 points. So the rules that I gave for myself for the opening range trade is the candle has to close on that same time frame outside of the range. So if we look at the Russell, 3-minute opening range, next candle closes outside that range. The last part to that, the last added confluence I have is what is VWAP doing from that point? In this case, the Russell, the VWAP looks like, from here, we don't know it's going to leave the range until later. We need more data. But in the first 6 minutes, price close outside and VWAP is trending up. This is a long. So I want to get long anywhere as close as possible to this volume as I can. If we look at the NASDAQ, completely different story, right? We traded in that opening range. VWAP was pretty much flat in that range. Rejection up at the highs, rejection at the lows. You got this nice buy down at 490s. But the Russell was just a much cleaner setup 6 minutes into the market, where the NASDAQ took, almost 20 minutes before it decided to move to the upside. If for my trading, I have all 4 charts up at the same time, the Russell, Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ, and I just want to click the button on the one that presents the best trade.
I mean, yeah, you've been trading multiple markets for a while now, and you've gotten pretty dang good at it as well. So I always love seeing that, and sometimes that's kind of how we feel as traders. At least for me, is sometimes the grass seems greener on the other side, but then if you don't have a process to do it,
correct,
then you're gonna just get yourself in a lot of trouble. It's like, man, I should have been trading this market, or then you switch and then things just turn south very fast. So you've been trading it for a while. You have the experience, the know-how, and the process to do so. That's what I love. I love when I see different markets that I typically don't trade and how you navigate those. So other than that, man, it was a great session. I'm glad that you were able to catch the end of it right at the beginning of the strategy builder. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's the last night for the strategy builder. I'm excited. We'll get this document polished up. We'll go through a few more examples, answer some final questions, and hopefully, if you have been following along this week throughout this week's series, you've been able to do something similar. And then I'll take a poll next week. Maybe we'll do a strategy tester to where we just take this strategy, go through, test it, answer some more questions. Not sure. We'll see how it goes. But to finish it off, this trade, Coach Jay, there's the, there it is. There it freaking is.
Trade is looking like a nice glass of lemonade right now.
Yeah. It's tastes like, put some sugar in that fruit punch. Oh man, the puns that I can sit here and think of. Put some sugar in that fruit punch. Okay, we got to end it there, man. I'll see everybody. And any last comments, Coach Jay? Tomorrow is Thursday. We got the NVIDIA. You will be on for the opening call, and I will be on tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you will be. I'm going to be on with you. We haven't been on air for daytime show in a little bit, but I'm driving fast markets tomorrow. So we'll be trading tomorrow.
Good.
Together. I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to find out how this gold trade ends up tomorrow morning. So take care, everybody, and I will see you then.